We're going to make jelly donuts, but first of all I want to give you the recipe. Now you can make this by hand or you can put it in your bread maker on the dough cycle, because that's exactly what I do. I find it's much easier than doing it by hand. But this is the recipe. 6 tablespoons of water at room temperature, a little less than 2/3 cup of milk at room temperature, 1 egg that has been beaten, 1/4 cup of white bread flour, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 cup of butter, also that's been at room temperature and melted and cooled, and 1½ teaspoon of your rapid rise active dry yeast. Now you're going to need oil for deep frying, and you're going to need granulated sugar for sprinkling, or cinnamon for sprinkling once the donuts are done. Now I went ahead and made the dough in my bread maker, and it came out and it looks like this. You're actually going to take the whole piece, and I find it's easier to cut it in half. Now you should be able to get 16 donuts out of this. This piece, of course, would render me 8. So basically I just cut it in half. I cut it again into 4s, and then again I cut it into, so we have 8 pieces. Now, in forming them, just put them in your hands, tuck the pieces all together in the back of the donut, and then just press it in, and then of course put this on a tray in a warm area with either a towel or some saran wrap that has some sprayed oil spray on it. They will double in about a ½ hour, but you don't want to start cooking till they double. Again, very quick, just take that piece of dough, bring all your pieces together at the bottom, and then just pinch on the inside like that, and then round them off into balls so that they come out like balls. Now once they rise, they will look like this, and this was probably about 30 or 35 minutes that it took to double. So these are ready to be fried. Now I have my oil heated on my stove, and you want to have it about anywhere from 350 to 360. And you actually want to fry these for about 4 to 5 minutes. So I'm going to just put my first one in. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. And watch your, put a timer on. You want, again, about 2 or 2½ minutes on each side. Once the 2½ minutes are up, then of course flip it over. You want them to come out to a brown. Now I'm going to check the bottoms to see how they're doing, and they're almost ready to turn. Now you're also going to need some type of drying rack or pan with some paper towel to drain your donuts on. It looks like they're ready to actually flip them over. Now you can use a spoon, a slotted spoon, a wooden spoon, or even a pair of tongs. Again, about another 2½ minutes on the other side, and then we're going to drain them. Now once they sit and cool, that you can touch them with your hands, we're actually going to roll them in granulated sugar. The reason we want to roll them when they're still warm is so that the sugar sticks to the donut. If the donut becomes too cool, the granulated sugar, it won't stick. All right, these are ready to come out, so we're going to put them on our paper. I'm going to shut my stove off. So let them, again, sit on your paper and let them drain. Now once you do that, they'll come out and they'll look like this. So what you want to do is, once you're able to handle them, you just want to, again, roll them in granulated sugar and then allow them to fully cool. because what you're going to do when they become cool, you're going to put the filling in. You're actually going to put the jelly in them. So those have been rolled. Now, once the donut comes out, and I have one here, I went ahead and took 3 tablespoons of red raspberry jam and 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice. Put it in a bowl, just warm it in your microwave. You don't want it hot, just warm. And then you can use a pastry bag with the tip, or my mechanical, you can see my mechanical device that I'm going to use to get the jelly in there. So we have one here that's been already fried, and then I'm just going to actually poke a hole into the donut, push it in about halfway, and then I'm going to just use my little tool here, and I'm going to shoot the raspberry jam in it, inside of the hole. I have the one that I just filled, and then I did one ahead of time to show you, and I cut it open so that you can see how beautiful, delicate, and light these donuts are, and they have that wonderful red raspberry filling. So there you have it, your own homemade jelly-filled donuts. I hope you like this recipe, and if you do, leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.